friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Amber if you're new here, and today I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of whether you should be reading from a Kindle or reading from an iPad. So I've been putting off buying a Kindle for a really long time. I had one of the first types of Kindles that they really came out with, and I would use it for travel, but I wouldn't really use it like any other time. Like, I've always really appreciated having a physical book to read, and that is still my preference now, but I also like the ability to get something, like now that I actually read a lot more, when you have a pre-order and a book comes out. Living out here in Nova Scotia, it usually comes to me a couple days late, and by this point, like, everyone's already read the book. So when you have it on the Kindle, it will just download immediately. Same with iPad, I'm sure, especially because you do have the Kindle app on the iPad as well. But I just kind of wanted to go over what my experience has been. Like, has it been worth it? Okay, so my light just died. We're just gonna go with it. But yeah, so it took me a long time to decide if I was going to buy a Kindle or not. I had one of the first ones that they had, and I loved using it for, let me just see if I can adjust this lighting. Give me a second. Is this gonna adjust anything a little bit? Hopefully, I don't know. But yeah, so I had one of the first ones they came out with. I used it for travel. It was great for that, but I just found when I was at home, I was only reading physical books, and I was not reading as much back then as I do now. Now I read a lot. I like having access to books like instantly, especially if it's like a pre-order. I don't have to wait for it to ship here, because in Nova Scotia, we don't always get deliveries as quickly as other big cities because we're a little bit more out of the way. So for example, what book was it? I think the most recent Crescent City book I had pre-ordered, and I ended up canceling it because it was taking so long to get here, and other people were already like starting it and reading it. No, it wasn't. Was it Crescent City? Anyway, it was one of the big books that came out this year. I ended up just canceling it and going down to Chapters and picking it up a couple days after it came out because it was taking so long to get here and it hadn't even shipped yet. I really like having e-readers for that, and also just because I am buying so many books now, it's a great way to save money, especially if you have like a book that you want to read and it's on like the Kindle deals section. That's also a really great way to save money. So, but today we're going to be talking about, like, is it worth getting a Kindle? Like, I know you can get the Kindle app on your iPhone or iPad, and I have definitely done that. I would go and choose like between the Apple bookstore and the Kindle bookstore and see like which book was cheaper if I was gonna buy digitally, and then I would choose like where I was gonna read it based on that. I don't actually have my iPad with me, but I do have my phone. So basically the same type of device, and I do have the Kindle app on here as well. But I have to say, I highly prefer reading on the Kindle, and I'll tell you why. So my eyes are very sensitive, and I'm constantly in front of a computer. And when I'm on a computer, I'm always having blue light at me. I do have blue light glasses, and they do help. I definitely notice a difference when I do use them versus when I don't use them. But I'm just always having a blue light at me, and I don't love reading on my phone. Like, I'm one of those people who, when I open up a article on my phone, I will always send it to my computer to read it on my computer. I don't love reading it on a tablet or on my phone. So it's not something that I'm like super into to begin with. And also there's a lot of glare, and that drives me nuts. When it's like super sunny out, it can make it really hard to see. And with the Kindle, you really don't have that. It is very matte. It's very customizable. You can turn the light off. Now it does have a light. Whereas the Kindle I originally had back in the day did not have a light. You could get like a little clip that you could put on here, and you could like turn it over so that you could see in the dark. But this one does have a light built in, and then you can choose how bright you want it. You can choose if you want yellow light or blue light. And I just, like, if I'm reading most of the time, I just have the light completely off, and it's so much easier on my eyes. It just makes them feel so much more rested, especially at night when you're not supposed to be having like blue light on around you. This is really great for that if you're reading at night and you want to read on a tablet. And it's so tiny. I mean, I know that you have like the iPhone and iPad mini that are also quite small, but this is so slim. It is so little. I have some stickers on there. I literally just stick it into my little purse. Like, I don't even have a big purse. It slides in, takes up no room at all. So overall, I definitely highly recommend reading on the Kindle instead. I also love that now it has first of all, when you buy it online, if you're buying it for yourself, you can choose that it comes already connected like to your Amazon account, which was so handy not having to do that whole setup. And one thing that the older Kindle definitely did not have is this can be connected to your Goodreads account, which is so cool because when you have like your want to read section on Goodreads, you can literally find it on here and then you can buy it through like the Kindle store, which is amazing. That is so cool. I really, really love that feature. And I think you can actually do more with it with Goodreads, but I don't usually do a whole lot with Goodreads. So, but one of my friends was really, she loves using Goodreads and she was really excited, telling me about how she had it connected and all the different things that she could do. So anyway, yeah, and I just got this, is this like the Paperwhite version of the Kindle? I didn't get like the higher up one, which I think is maybe $100 more or something like that. This is perfect for what I need it for. I'm just sitting and reading. It doesn't have buttons. I would love buttons, but it wasn't worth it for me to really upgrade for the buttons. We're so used to just like tapping or swiping at this point anyway. Totally fine. Yeah, I love this. It's not in color, which is like a pro and a con for me. I like that it's more like a book, that it doesn't have color. But I do like that on the iPad that you do have color, especially for like when you're highlighting, you can highlight in different colors. So that is like a feature that I miss. But overall, this is just so much easier for you to read. So like if you have sensitive eyes or if you want to just have less time in front of like digital screens with blue light, I would highly, 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 highly recommend getting the Kindle, especially the Paperwhite. Like, again, it is so tiny. Like if you have seen my like what's in my purse videos or anything like that, you know how little my purse is. There's still a good room in there, but this just slides in beside my wallet. It takes up no room. It's beautiful, which is obviously going to make it so great for traveling. It's going to take up absolutely no room. So yeah, I definitely recommend the Kindle if you're looking into buying one and you're just kind of wondering, is it worth it even if you have like a phone or an iPad where you can read? I definitely still say yes, it is worth it if you're going to be spending a lot of time reading, especially with books from the Kindle store. So that's how I'm kind of feeling about it. Let me know below if you have a Kindle or if you have a preference between Kindle and iPad or any other devices like a Kobo perhaps. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.